Hi everyone. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is make an really super easy tutorial using the Dream Big Keepsake Wallet Creator Die Set from Tonic. Now this is a requested tutorial. The lovely Bex from Bex Crafts, she emailed me, she's bought this die and would like to see how to put it together. So if you're not familiar with Bex, guys, please go check her out. I'm going to link her channel down in the description box. Go over and show her some YouTube love, say hi and get to know her and watch her videos and things. So this tutorial that I'm going to do now is super easy. There is lots and lots of ways to use this album. This is just one way. Use these dies, it's just one way, okay? There's so many bits and pieces in here that you can do all sorts of different albums and journals. So this is how it comes. Alright, let's move this out the way. How many dies are in there? 22 dies. Okay, so you get, first of all, this main die, which is the die you use to make your actual body of your album. So what you need is to cut that out twice. Now I've cut mine out in black card. Okay, you guys that have been watching me for a long time will know that I love using black card. Also, I've been making albums for a long time before I had any of these dies, and it used to be measuring and things. These have made it so much easier. So you cut out the main die twice, okay? Then within the set, there's all sorts of lovely wee goodies. You get pockets. You also get the layering part for the pocket to make it really pretty. You get tags. You've got this tag here. And you also get the layering piece to make it pretty as well. Make it really ornate. You get little book plates. This sentiment says, cherish. Is it? Oops, let me read that. Cherish every moment. And you also get Dream Big, obviously because it's a Dream Big creator. You get this piece here as well, and that's for making a little closure on the front of your album if you wish to do that. You also get these long strip pieces. Now these are for if you want to make, you can see this one, let me just stand up. So this one has these ones here with the little holes. They are for your twine, and you've also got this one as well that you can use your ribbon and things. Alright, now I'm not going to use that today. If you would like to see me doing a tutorial using these, let me know in the comments box and I will also do a tutorial for that as well. However, what I'm going to use today is the spine die. Now this is from Tonic as well, and this is the spine die. So this is part of their keepsake bookmaker. It's a simple spines die. There's a huge range that they have out now with the keepsake collection. So this is the spine die here. If you're using the spine die, you need to cut this out twice. Okay. Now if you don't have the spine die, there is lots of tutorials on YouTube how to make a spine. Okay, so just type it in and you'll be able to have a wee look. There is lots and lots of tutorials how to do that. I've got a tutorial as well on it. I'll have a wee look and see if I can link that down below. Okay, cut that out twice if you're using that. So like I said, this is just one version of this album. There is a lot more different versions as well. Alright, so let's have a wee look and see what we're going to do. So first of all, you cut the big bit out twice, okay? And you've cut your spine out twice. So I've cut my spine out in black. I've put one together and I'm going to show you the other one. Then you also get these two big layering pieces within the die set as well. And these are to make your pages. So you can use, where is it? I've got it here somewhere, if I can find it. Bear with me guys, I do have it here somewhere. This one. You can use this one, which is a Tonic Keepsake Bookmaker Base Creator Die Set. You can use that one for your pages, but in this instance, I'm going to use the one that comes with it. So you get the large rectangle, okay, and you need to cut that out 12 times because that is going to make your pages. Alright, so I've cut it out in black and I've cut it out 12 times. Okay, so that's the largest rectangle. So let's pop that one back. You also get the next size down. Now this one has the little scallops and the stitch marks in it, okay, and you want to cut that one out 14 times. So what I've done, I've cut it out twice. This is all adorable scoreable card from Hunky Dory. I've cut it out twice in this lilac colour, okay, and then I've cut out for my pages, I have cut out 2 of each colour of this gorgeous gingham card. Now this card does make your eyes go a wee bit funny, but it is really pretty. So 12 of them, okay, and then 2 for the front and back pages. I will show you that. Then within the die set as well, in this part, you get this die, okay. You want to cut that out twice. Now I've cut this out this lovely sort of purpley colour. Cut that out twice, okay, and then you also get the inside piece, which is all the ornate part. So you want to cut with this piece and that piece together, you want to cut that out twice as well, and I've cut it in white, and what that gives you is your really nice decorative pieces, okay. So if you want to stop the video and go away and cut everything out, now's the time. Get everything ready. Alright, so if you've had me on hold and you've cut everything out, let's see how we're going to assemble it all. So it's really easy, guys, okay. And what I've done with this tutorial is made it really simple. Because this is the first tutorial I'm doing with these dies, I wanted to make it really easy. So, and it makes a lovely, really lovely album. So this one I actually made something similar. This album that I made is with the Live Every Moment keepsake wallet creator die set. So it's something similar we're going to be making, okay. So it's this box effect. Right, so what we need then is, let's pop everything else to the side. So you need your 2 pieces of the largest part that you've cut out, alright. And what we're going to do is, you'll see that there is a perforated mark, okay, so your dot line. So if I've got this piece, okay, this curved piece facing towards me, you've got your perforated mark, and then you've got your first score line. So you want to fold away from yourself on your first score line. So the die does all the work for you, it does all the scoring and things. So if you just go down that score line, it's quite difficult for me to see because I don't want to get my head in the camera. Right, I'm going to have to look in because I can't see what I'm doing, guys. Okay, and then just fold it down on itself, and then the same on this side. You just want to go down, making sure, and then just reinforce it, making sure it's straight, and reinforce it with your bone folder. So basically what you've created is here. Now you will have 1, 2, 3 score lines in the middle, okay, that's absolutely fine. That is actually for if you're making a different kind of album, but we're not using these score lines today. So we have this side, alright, and we're going to do the exact same on this side. Make sure that you've got your score lines facing up to you, and just fold and burnish, and then take this one and fold and burnish as well. So essentially what that makes is this, okay. How cute is that going to be? Love that already. That looks really pretty already. So what we're going to do before we put it all together, because it's easier to do it while it's lying flat, is take in our fancy pieces that we've cut. So I've cut them in the purple and the white. So we're just going to do a little bit of matting and layering here. So you take your base one, make sure you've got your embossing lines facing up the right way, and then just add your wet glue. Now I'm doing this with wet glue. You can do it with your preferred type of adhesive. If you prefer to use your double-sided tape, that's absolutely fine. I just find it a lot easier and a lot stronger with my wet glue. Okay, so let's pop that down there. Then I'm going to take my beautiful ornate piece, I'm going to go all the way around the edge, like that. You don't need a lot of glue because it's so fine and filigree that you don't need a lot. I'm just popping on a little bit there, okay? And I've just noticed I've got a wee bit that's not came out. Let me just poke that out. Now you will need a die cutting machine that is A4 in size for your largest piece of the album that you cut out, but for the rest of it you just need your normal Big Shot, okay? So let's just wipe off the excess glue because I can't do nothing without getting excess glue everywhere. Okay, so let's stick that down. Look how pretty that looks, isn't that really gorgeous? So we've done that one, and then you just simply repeat it. You can fast forward me if you don't want to watch me doing this again, but if you're working alongside me, we are just going to do the exact same again. If you have any questions, or if you would like to see me do a different type of journal or album with these dies, let me know. I am planning to do lots of demonstrations because you can do so much with these dies. I love the collection. I've actually got some more of the collection coming, and my lovely friend Elizabeth, you guys have heard me talking about my wee best friend Elizabeth before. She's ordered the gorgeous half and half Tonic keepsake dies for me, so I'm going to be doing tutorials with them as well. Obviously we're being on lockdown just now, I can't get them, but she is going to try and post them out to me. Bless her wee heart, she's been so sweet. I asked her if she could post them out, and she's going to try and get her sister, because Elizabeth is classed as you know, vulnerable things with everything that's going on, and I would not want to put her at risk. So yeah, I think she's going to try and get her wee sister. So once I get their dies in, guys, I will make a tutorial on how to do the half and half dies as well for the keepsake, because they're gorgeous. Okie dokie, so we now have our opposites, so you can see that. So what we're going to do, let's just pop them like that so you can see we now have the opposite. Isn't that beautiful? And you're going to get the box effect on the back, which I absolutely love. I think that's gorgeous. So on the back of one, okay, now make sure it's on the back, so when you're putting the glue on, you'll have your pattern facing up the way, and we're only going to glue, you see how we've got our fold, we're only going to glue up to our fold. So let's just, again, you can do this way, or you can do it with your double-sided tape, but I would say at this point, if you're using double-sided tape, to use the red liner, the strong one, because I have found that the white tape, it can dry out over time, and you don't want your album to be falling apart. Okay, so make sure you've got it in the opposite way. Okay, so you've got one at the top, one at the bottom, and we're just going to go ahead and glue that on like that. Let's pick it up, make sure we have it straight. Now you will notice, okay, that there is a little score line here. You can take that flap off if you want, but I tend to leave it on because it has the piercing sewing, you know, when it's die cut, it's got the wee holes in it, and so it matches, so I don't want to take that off. But you can take that extra flap off if you want, but I don't. I just leave it. Okay. So now you can see we have what is beginning to look a bit like an album. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, you'll see here, like I said, I've cut out 12 of my checked paper, what do you call it, gingham, and I've cut out 2 plain ones. Now the reason I've cut out 2 plain ones is because I want one on the inside, okay? I'm going to pop this on the inside of my album. Obviously you can use all your beautiful papers, all your patterned papers, make it as pretty as you want and as ornate as you want, like I did with the other one. I did an album, some of you guys may have seen it, I've done it as part of my Altair art design team papers, and I will show that. I'll actually link that down in the description box because that album is absolutely gorgeous, and that's using some of the Tonic dies as well. So I will link that so you can have a wee look, and it just gives you some other ideas that you can use your keepsake dies to do. So we'll pop that down there. So that's a nice space for a large photograph. Now in the back of this album, okay, what I did was I put a pocket, okay. Now this is actually for someone, that's the name of their channel on there, so I'm not going to show it, but I put a pocket, so you can do that as well if you want to, okay. But this is just, I'm doing this barely really for demonstration purposes, okay, so it's not going to be extra pretty. Now at this point what you could do is take that die again, okay, that we just used to cut out the front panel, and you could make some really pretty panels for here as well, okay. So just cut it out same way as we did for the front, and you can decorate up that part, but I'm not going to do it for demonstration purposes because I want to try and keep the time down on the video for you guys. But you know how to decorate your albums, you know how beautiful you can make them, and how you know how to do that, so I don't have to show you how to decorate them. Turn it over, and I'm going to put my other piece on the back. This, it looks nice, and this also gives it strength. Now this Hunky Dory card is 350 GSM Adorable Scoreable, and these dies cut through it like butter, so they're really good quality. Tonic are always good quality anyway. But yeah, okay, so let me just make sure I've got that kind of straight in the back. Let's move it over a little bit. Okay. Alright. So that's cool. That's nice, and that also gives you somewhere you can do your stamp for your name, or you know, do your stickers and things like that. All right, so we've got that part now. So what we're going to do now is bring in the spine. Okay. Now the spine itself, I've cut two out here, and I've already put this one together. This spine is designed to go with that larger album that I showed you. So it's designed to go with this one, so it's slightly larger. However, there is lines on it that you can cut it down for different size albums that you're making. So all I've done is I've taken one of my pages, okay, that we cut out the 12 of, and I've cut it down to the size, the same size as my page. Okay, so it's going to fit onto my spine. Now this is how the spine cuts out. Now like I said, this is, you can do this, it's just a matter of scoring some lines, and like I said, there is some really cool tutorials of how to do that on YouTube. That's how I used to do it. I used to, before I got the spine die, I just used to go on, find a tutorial. I can't even remember who it was I used, guys, but there is lots and lots of ladies, not just for the Tonic dies, but just to make albums, because like I said, I was making albums before I had any of the dies, and I was doing my own spine. So yeah, it's really easy to do, so just have a wee look and you will find a tutorial if you don't have the die. It basically is just a concertina, and it's just a case of folding your card. Okay, but I would recommend that spine die because it makes it so much easier than having to fold all the time. So I'm just adding on my red liner tape. Okay, so you will see when you make your spine, when you cut it out, alright, that you've got your peaks and your valleys. So you're putting your double-sided tape inside the peaks. I'm not going, I know you might be thinking, what, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that because like I said, this isn't a tutorial about the spine, but I will show you what it looks like when it's put together. I just wanted to show you how to size it to the page. So I'm just taking off my tape there. Okay, and I'm just going to, first of all, before I cut it, before I put any more of my tape on the back, take one of my sheets. All I done was popped it in to make sure that it was lined up correctly, exact same size at the top of my page, and then trim it off like that. And so my spine is now the same size as my page. So let's add on the rest of my red liner tape. So I'm just going across. Sorry if you can hear my son in the background, guys. He's on his PlayStation. Okay. And last one. Pop it right up to the end. And all the way down. Okay, so let's take off the tape. Okay, I don't have any nails because when I'm at work it's hard for me to type when I've got nails, so I've not been getting my nails done lately. I've not been putting any stick-ons on either. Any of my stick-on nails. I used to put the acrylics on all the time, but I've not been doing it because I find it quite difficult to type the keyboard at work. I've got a wee bit there that I missed, so I'm just going to pop that on right up to the edge. Okay. So nice and easy so far. So bring the album back in. Decide which way you want it to open up. I'm going to go with that way. And then you will see that your spine, okay, where you have your box part on the inside, that is where your spine is going to fit. And it does fit perfectly. Obviously Tonic have designed it to be that way. So I'm just going to line it up straight at the bottom. And then try and, I'm going to turn it this way, guys, so you can see what I'm doing. I want it the same at the top as what it is at the bottom, because obviously the pages are slightly smaller than the actual cover, which is really cool how they've designed that. Okay, and then pop it down like that, and that's one side. And then let's just do the same on the other side. Take off my tape. So there we go. And I'm going to do the exact same here. Just see how much I have at the top, how much I have at the bottom. Try and sort of line it up with this side. Just have a wee look, and I'd say it's roughly about there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but because you're just doing it by eye, you can measure it and mark it all out, but I'm no one for measuring. That's why I like these dies so much. So there we have our spine on both sides. Okay, now this bit is really easy. All we're going to do is add in our pages. So we need 2 pages, okay, 2 of our black card that we've cut out. Pair, say we've got 1, 2, 3 from our spine, okay, so we need 1 for each side of these 3 flaps. So what I'm going to do is put on some red liner tape. Okay, on that side. Take one of my pages, take off my backing, and make sure I've got my, because you will see you've got an embossed line all the way around. You want that to be shown because it's really pretty. And then just line it up like so, press it down, okay, and that gives you your first page. Now you will see with this one, what I've done is in every single page, okay, is I've made a little pull out, and I've just used, let me show you what I used. I used this set and this set. So it's the Memory Book Maker Base Creator die set and the Memory Book Maker Layered Cascade die set. If you don't have them, all you need to do is measure your page, okay? So you want to leave maybe 1/4 of an inch on each side to make sure that your page is going to slip out and in easily. Alright, so when you're measuring your card, and then just cut yourself a card just measure it and see which side you want to cut it and decorate it with your papers. I've just used a little tab of paper, folded it over to make a wee pull out here, and you can do that. If you want to, you can seal the side and leave the top of the page open and have a top pull out. Okay, so that's just a couple more options as well. So on this side then, what I'm going to do is add on the other side of my page. I'm going to do it again with my red liner tape all the way along, and then take off. Well, if any of you guys heard any screaming there, that was my son, so I went through and told him to be quiet because he's on that PS4. He's on with my niece who stays down in Stirling, so they get a bit excited, to say the least. So I went in and said to him, right, I'm videoing, so be quiet. So what I've done is I've popped on my red liner tape. Not that he'll listen to me, still you'll probably hear him in a minute, but hopefully he's quiet a wee bit. And then I'm going to take my wet glue and my wet glue down there, and I'm also going to pop a line of red glue just above my red liner tape above the flap. Okay, so this is to leave a side loading pocket. Again, make sure that I have my embossing facing up to me. Line it up and just press it down. Okay, make sure you go around the edge, give it a wee squeeze, taking off any excess glue, and that gives it a chance to get a grip as well. You'll see it's left us a nice pocket there to pop our wee, what do you call it, our wee card for the lack of the word I can't think of it. Photo mat, that's it. Okay, just press it down flat, press it down that way, so we've got our first page, you can see. Okay, so that's really pretty. And then you just continue doing that. Now you do it on that side, you do it on that side. So I will do that and then I'll come straight back, okay? Because you don't want to watch me sit and putting all the different pages in. Okay, so we've popped in all of our pages. Now, if you open it up, right, it's going to be like a concertina. So you're going to have your first page, your second page. Now it opens up, so you've got a huge big space to put all your photographs in. And then you've got your back page. Now, like I said, you can put a pocket in here, okay? You can use any die to pop it in, like this one. I used the die to pop in a pocket. Sorry, this was a die that I had from AliExpress. You can just use a piece of card and cut it down and have a pocket in there. But what we're going to do is let's decorate it. Now, I'm not fully decorating this. This is just a tutorial to show you guys, because everybody decorates it in their own way. I am going to be doing a tutorial where I fully decorate start to finish on a album. For this one, this is just to show you how to put it together. So I've cut out 12, okay, like I showed you. Now I've done it 2 of each page. So what I do, so for the front one, I want to start off with this sort of purpley colour here. So I'm just going to use my wet glue. We're not putting any flaps or any pockets or any tucks or anything within this album. This one is just going to be a simple, easy album to pop in your photographs, okay? If you want me to come back on and show putting in flaps and things in this album, I will do. However, like I said, I am going to do a tutorial with albums that I've got flips and flaps and things like that. I'll show you quickly. I am going to link the flip through of this album, but this one is using the other dies, the ones that I showed you. So this one was made with these dies, okay, and I did put in waterfalls, and we've got flips and our pull-outs. We've also got pockets and belly bands and all sorts of bits and pieces within that album. So you've also got double pages, and you can do that within that album that I'm making just now. So, but I will come on and do another tutorial with that kind of album, but for this one we're just doing it very simple. Okay, so when you open it up, on your left hand side I've put that colour. So what I'm going to do is put it on the back page of this side. Okay, and this is just to alternate my colours. So let's pop that on there, and you can get a really nice size photograph on there as well. Let me just see. So if you're leaving a little border because you want to see your card behind it, I would say, so the actual piece of card is about 7 1/4, so I would say you could get a nice 6x4 photograph in there, because it's 5 1/4, so you can get a nice 6x4 photograph in there. So then let's take our next colour and we'll go for a nice blue, and let's just pop this in. Let's pop that on this side. Okay, and then go with the second page. Okay, so you're going on the back, so that's your page, you're going on the back of this page. So this bit's really quick, you're just matting it on to your page, trying to make it nice and square. Then we're going to go with our second colour. I'm going to go with this purple. And I'm not going to show you me sticking all these on, guys, but it's just to give you the rough idea. So next colour, turn it over, and here. And it's nice because you can use all your beautiful papers and cards that we all buy and really showcase what beautiful papers and card that you have. Okay, so I'm going to go through and do that, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the closure. Okay, so for the closure, what I do, obviously there's all different ways you can do it. You can use ribbon, lace, but what I'm going to do is use a piece of card. Now you need a piece of card that is 8 1/4 long, okay, and 1 inch thick. So I'm using my black, okay, and then I've used a piece of the patterned card to match the inside, and it's 8 1/4, the same, by 3 1/4 inch, okay. And what you need to do is you need to score it at 1 inch, okay, to give yourself a little fold, and you need to score it at 2 1/4 inch, and that is the same on the two pieces, okay. And then you just need to stick your patterned piece. Let's unblock my glue, open it up. So you're just going to put your patterned piece on top of my black and just centre it up like that. Just make sure that it is centralised and take off any excess glue. Okay, now what I'm going to do is use a heart punch, okay. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in a wee second. You don't have to use that, you can use anything else that you want to use, but I will show you what I'm going to do. So that is going to be my closure, and I'm going to use a magnet to close it, okay. So what I want to do is this piece here, so you leave the long piece, but we want to glue on the inside on this piece and on this piece where you've scored. So I'm just using my wet glue here, okay, and I'm just using wet glue to make sure that it is extra strong. So I'm putting this roughly where I want it. I want it sort of halfway up my album, okay. I'm going to make sure that it is stuck on my spine and then stuck on the back. So let's just give it a wee second to hold, because obviously I'm using wet glue, so it needs to stick down. So let's give it a wee second to adhere itself. Make sure that we stick it on. Okay, so that's going to be like that, and it's going to be my closure. Okay, now you can decorate that any way you want. So you can see on this one, on the outside, I've used some pearls along the edge and a wee butterfly, and then I've just popped on the word love. Okay, now on the inside, let this just stick first of all. I'm just going to double it over. So I'm going to cut myself another piece of partner's card. Okay, let me just make sure that that is sticking down and that it is straight like that. And let me give you the measurements. So what I'm going to do is just mark it out, and then I will measure it, because I know a lot of people like using measurements, whereas I don't. I just eyeball it, guys, to be honest, but I will give you the measurements. So let me cut this, and then I will tell you what size the piece of card you need. Actually, rather than using that, what I'm going to do is, because it's going to be thick and I want to have a magnet underneath it, I'm going to use a piece of matching paper that I used to cut out the front piece, this colour. So let's do that. So once again, I'm just going to mark it, and then I will give you the measurements. So roughly here, and I would say about there. Okay, so I'll cut this, and then I'll give you the measurements of what I've done. Okay. Alright, so let's just doubly make sure that that piece is okay. That's the wrong piece, and it's this piece, and I want it about there. So I would say it's about 3/4 of an inch by 4. Okay, so 4 by 3/4. Now I'm going to take out some magnets. Okay, so let's take my 2 magnets, alright? And what I'm going to do is separate my magnets, put on some glue, make sure, that I'm going to have enough space for my magnet, so I'm going to pop that on about there. Okay, then I'm going to take my little piece of card, which doesn't look very straight, it should be, but maybe I didn't have it exactly straight on my trimmer. There we go. I'm just going to use some wet glue all the way down like that, and I'm going to cover over my magnet. Okay, like and so, and just wipe off any excess glue. Give it a wee stick for a second, let it have a wee grab. And I always put too much glue on, but do you know what, rather safe than sorry, so you just wipe off any excess. Okay, so that's popped on there. Take off my excess glue. I really like that colour, that's really pretty, and you could put on, you could stamp on there, or a really pretty paper, whatever you prefer. So we've got that like that. Okay, take off, I've still got some excess glue here. This glue does dry clear, but always try and take the excess off anyway. And then, so what we're going to do is let our magnet find its own place. And I'm going to pop a wee bit of glue on there. Square it up and see roughly where that's going to fall. Now I can see here where my wee glue mark is. So So let's pop that on there. Take off my magnet from that side and pop it down. Now this is where I'm going to use my heart punch. However, obviously you can use whatever you feel like. One of my other albums I used a butterfly, I've used flowers, whatever you fancy. But I'm going to punch out a black heart. Okay, so just a little black heart punch. I'm going to pop on my wet glue, lots of wet glue, and I'm going to pop that over my magnet like that. And then I'm going to hold it down for a few seconds just to let it grab on. This dry is quite instantaneous, this glue, sorry. It does dry quite quickly. And it rubs off, any excess just rubs off, so that's pretty cool. Which is good for me because I use far too much glue all the time. So let's just press that down for a wee second and make sure that it sticks. So this has been a really basic tutorial, but it just shows you how quickly with these dies, the Dream Big die, the wallet creator, how quickly you can use them to make an album. And of course you can go ahead and use your decorative papers on the sides. Okay, so that is your closure. So like I said, on this one I added on some beautiful pearls and a butterfly, so I would go ahead and further decorate that. So when you open it up, okay, you've got your magnet, open it up, you've got your pages. Okay, so here, see, I can flip them open one by one by one by one, and then you've got your beautiful page in the back, and then each page has a space for a card. Okay, so what you would basically do, let me just give you the measurements. If you don't have a die to create the cards, let's just measure this out and I'll tell you what size it will fit. So I would say, okay, so I'll give you guys the measurements to about there, and I would also say to about there. So I'll cut this one down and I'll tell you what the measurement would be for this pocket. I'm just doing this roughly. This is just to tell you really sizes. Obviously you would use all your beautiful cards and your pretty papers to make this card. So let's see. So yeah, that size fits perfectly. So the size of the card is 6 1/4 by just over 4 1/4, but you could do 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now Tonic do all sorts of wee tabs and things that you can use to put on the edge of your photo mat. However, if you don't have anything like that, it's really easy to make your own. So all you're going to do is take a 1-inch slice of card. I would say 1 inch by 1 inch by 2 inch. No, actually, I would say 3. Go 3 inch. So 3 inches. Okay, so 1 inch by 3 inch to make your tab. Fold it in half, like so, and then add on your wet glue, both sides, centre it up. Now this one really is just for demonstration purposes, guys, okay? Don't be shouting at me saying, oh, that's not very nice. It really is just to give you the sizes of the card and the tab that you can make to fit in it. Okay, and then of course you can go ahead and decorate this over this. You can put on a love heart, you can put on a butterfly, flower, whatever you want, and you've got a gorgeous wee mat. And that is if you don't have the dies to make the photo tabs, and that would just come in and you would just do that on every single page, and then you would have your photo mat in each page that would just slide in and out. So there we have it. That is really the basic tutorial of how to make one of these albums like so. Super, super easy, guys. Works really fast, really easy. You can do them in beautiful pattern papers, make nice wedding albums, baby albums. But that is the Dream Big Keepsake Wallet Creator die set. Okay, if you've got any questions at all, leave them in the comment, and please hit my big thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.